students. So today we are back with this chapter of cultural change. The second topic of this chapter, that is on Sociologist Satish Sabherwal. A very important long answer it is. I'll request you please kindly go through this video very nicely so that you can understand in depth that which are those keywords you are going to mark to get your full marks. So, kids, Satish Sabherwal was one such sociologist who was doing the study of the change that was coming in our society. He was looking at the change coming because of the British rule in our society, and he has broadly outlined the three major factors which were responsible for bringing this change. He said that it was because of the mode of communication which was brought by Britishers that we were able to see that the people were able to move from one place to another. Then interrelated are the other 2 points also. Just because of that, we have also seen that there was a change in the society. People started coming up together and started forming the organizations. Not just this, when they started forming the organization, we saw that the nature of ideas of people started changing. So every point needs to be done in detail now because it's a long answer, and these are just three highlighting terms of this answer. So the first thing is mode of communication. When I talk about mode of communication, when Britishers came to our country, I think you all are very well versed of the fact now that they have introduced new technology. And with that new technology, the communication became very easy. What kind of new technology? It was printing press, telegraph, microphones. All of these things have made things very easy for the reformers now to communicate from one place to another. And moreover, railway was a major transformation it has introduced for us. Why? Because now it was not just quick movement of ideas, but also it has led to quick movement of people from one area to another. As I just stated that the railways were introduced by Britishers, and because of that the movement of people was happening very frequently. So now it was seen that the social reformers from Punjab and Bengal, they were exchanging their ideas with the reformers from Madras and Maharashtra. That means all over the country, all the problems, they were getting interlinked with each other. People were exchanging their ideas. They were visiting different places. So all these things somehow has introduced a major change in the society, because with this only the people were able to unite with each other. There are few examples given here of social reformers who were visiting different areas. Like we have seen Keshav Chandra Sen of Bengal. He visited Madras in 1864. Pandita Ramabai traveled to different corners of the country, and we have also seen the Christian missionaries. At this point of time, the Christian missionaries were spread all around the nation. They have reached the remotest areas of Nagaland, Mizoram, as well as Meghalaya. So it's all the impact of this railways only which we have seen. It was all the impact of the communication system, new technology which was introduced by the Britishers. So the second change he has talked about is we have started looking at different forms of organization. For the first time we saw under the colonial ruling that people facing similar problems they started creating their organizations. Like we have seen Brahmo Samaj was created in Bengal that was fighting against Sati Pratha. It was created by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. You have learned this multiple number of times till now. Similarly, we also had Arya Samaj in Punjab. Then we had this All India Muslim Ladies Conference that was founded in the year 1914. These are just few examples. Similarly, there were many such organizations which were having similar interests where the people came up together with similar kind of ideas. So now when the organizations were being created, definitely the people started thinking in logical manner and they started debating on lot of things. Earlier, the debates used to happen just in a confined area, just in a public meeting among those who were present in those meetings. But now, because of the new technology, because of the formation of organization, it was being seen that these kind of debates were coming even in the public media. Newspaper, journals, everywhere you could see those debates coming in. Not just that, it was also being seen that a lot of work were being translated in different Indian languages, because every region had their own language. Now, how will they able to understand that what is written in the text? Just to understand that, we have seen that there were a lot of people who were doing the translation of literature, translation of the books also. For example, Vishnu Shastri published a Marathi translation of Vidyasagar's book in Indu Prakash in 1868. This is one example to show you that how the translation of writings was happening at that time. Third most important aspect of change reflected by Satish Sabherwal, that was nature of ideas. What have we seen during this time was that there were new ideas that came in the society. Liberalism, freedom, just a gift of Western education, because we are learning it from so much, like 2-3 tutorials we have seen till now, and we have learned that because of Western education, liberalism and freedom were those ideas that came in. New ideas of homemaking and marriage, new roles for mother and daughter, new ideas of self-conscious pride in culture and tradition, all these things started emerging. Now, for the first time, it was being seen in our country that education was given a lot of value. It was being considered very empowering. And now the people started realizing that it's very important. If you want to make your country modern, you have to move ahead with scientific way of thinking. But yes, at the same time, retaining your ancient heritage. And kids, when I'm talking about education and its importance was enormously growing, we cannot forget about the female education. This was one topic which was intensely debated. There was one social reformer, Jyotiba Phule. He was the one who has opened the first school for women in Pune. This can be a one marker question in the paper also. There were so many reformers who were just talking that if we want to make our society a reformed and a progressive society, we need to make sure that the women are being educated, they are given education. Now, the questioning, reinterpretation, intellectual thinking, all these things, this was that period when these things started growing in our society. So, we have seen here that sociologist Satish Sabherwal has outlined three major aspects of change during colonial period. The very first aspect which you have learned is, we have seen that there were different technologies being introduced by the Britishers. Secondly, we have seen that there were different forms of organizations created at that time. And thirdly, we have seen that how the ideas started changing, transformation of ideas started happening. So with this, I am summing up this sociologist Satish Sabherwal's contribution. But this is a very important 4 marker question, kids. Do learn this very nicely with all the keywords which are highlighted for you. So that is all what we have from sociologist Satish Sabherwal. After this, we are going to have the third part of this chapter. Please kindly wait for the next video to be uploaded.